I have a prop. A pitcher and a glass. Clear, cool, refreshing water. Cheers. You ever been thirsty? You ever been thirsty right now? Thirst. We all know it. We've all experienced it. It's a universal encounter. It's part of the mechanism of our bodies. We need water. And when we don't have enough water, there's a trigger that starts to go off, and I feel thirsty. And thank goodness, because sometimes we get busy. We get preoccupied. It gets hot outside. We're really working. We're exerting more energy than we thought. Maybe we're getting dehydrated. Thirst is the mechanism that sends off the alarm that says, need water for my body. Need water to live, need water to thrive, need water to be alive. Thirst clues us in about what we need. And that need is met with water. Well, what's true with the body is also true with the soul, because there are things that our souls need. There are things that we're missing, things that start to, let's just say they start to disappear, and we feel it, and we know it, and we understand it, only it's not a thirst, it's a spiritual thirst. Something's missing. I'm looking for something. I'm searching for something. And you know, the interesting thing about that search, this is something that only God can provide. We might look for it in other areas. We might try to fill it up with other things, but it's not going to quench our spiritual thirst. In just the same way that you can be outside and it can be really a hot day and you're working and you're thirsty, and what you really need is water. It's the only thing that's going to quench your thirst. But maybe we go for a soda, or maybe we go for the Kool-Aid, or maybe we go for a beer, or maybe we go for that third pot of coffee. But sooner or later, it's not going to do it. We can look at all of these different things. It's not going to do it. What we need is the water. And spiritually, when we have that void, that absence, that ache, we can try to fill it with lots of different things, lots of different distractions, relationships, circumstances, people, time, money, entertainment. And we're still going to be empty. We're still going to be thirsty. Because all of those things, they might be good, they might be bad, they're not the thing we need. What we need is the grace that only God can give. The people in the wilderness were searching for water. They needed it for their bodies. That well, that Jacob's well in the gospel today, people needed that water for their bodies. And yet there's Jesus to give so much more. Because ultimately, friends, you and I, as we hear these words today, are reminded that just as our lives, our bodies call for water, our souls call for living water. We call for something that we need, that only God can give. And so today I have to kind of frame the question this way: what are we thirsty for? What is it in our lives right now that's missing? And we can say grace, but let's be real specific. Is there an ache in my heart because love is absent? Is there an ache in my heart because joy or peace are far away? Am I thirsty for patience or kindness? Am I thirsting for healing? Am I thirsting for honesty, the truth, the ability to say, I'm sorry or I forgive you? Am I thirsty to just be able to reach out and renew a relationship that might have been broken or harmed or lost? What are we thirsty for today? Because maybe today is the day we go to the living water. Jesus said, if you only knew who it is you're talking to, you would ask him for a drink. Too often, We don't storm heaven with the prayer, Lord, this is what I'm thirsting for. This is what's going on in my heart. This is what I ache about. This is what I need, and I can't find it anywhere else. Lord, I come to you. To do that, two things, folks. First, do we know what we're thirsty for? Because all too often, we don't just name it. We might ignore it. We might pretend it's not there. We might say, I'm fine, thank you very much. We might even go so far as to say, I'm okay. I'll do it by myself. What's our thirst? What is it that only God can give that we need? Name it. And second, maybe today's the day to start storming heaven and saying, Lord, please, this is what I need. You know me. You knew I needed this before I was willing to admit it. Lord, this is what I come to you asking for today. This is what I'm looking for right now. This is what I'm asking you will plant in my heart. You will fill in my life. You will put in place so that I might drink deeply of something I just can't find anywhere else. That the minute we start to recognize that there are certain needs that will only be met in Jesus, then it puts everything else in perspective. A lot of good and beautiful things. But it's the one thing that we need to help us. The minute our thirst is quenched, our bodies are stronger to do other things. The minute that our soul is quenched, you and I see beauty and truth. You and I are stronger to reach out and love. You and I are able to recognize grace and be a channel for it. Because the minute you and I can quench our souls on that which we need, we become alive. Not just in this life, but in the life to come. That you and I can fully become the beauty, the goodness, the gift, the grace, the strength that God has called us to be today. May we recognize the thirst we have, and may we go to the one source that will fill up our hearts and our souls with what we need. God bless you all.